Okay, so I'm Lauren, and this is Jenna.
Hi.
And we're from Ashwaubenon High School.
Okay.
And we're doing a project about poetry, and we just wanted to read you the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou.
Okay.
And I'm going to read half, and then Lauren's going to read half.
Okay.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like the hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard.
Here. Did you stop it? Oh.
You may shoot me down with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of history's hurts and shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror, fear, I rise. Into daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Framing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream, the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
I'm just going to read you a little history about the author. Maya Angelou was born in 1920s. Her mother and father separated when she was really young, and her brother were sent to live with her grandmother in Alabama. Her grandmother told her all about celebrating life to the fullest, and then Maya became a victim of sexual abuse and she became selectively mute for about 5.5 years. She then moved to San Francisco, and then she got a scholarship for dance, actually, and became involved. She became a performer after graduating, and she focused on her writing, but also got involved with a lot of civil rights movements as well. And then the overall theme of this poem is human strength, no matter what happens, and you can still rise above anything.
Next, I'm going to talk about the connotation of the poem. So, a lot of the main themes of this poem are repetition and rhetorical questions, which are recurring elements of the poem that help to relate to her theme of human strength. She uses the line, "Still I rise," a lot, and I have all of them bolded and in purple in here. She uses it to show at the end of each stanza how when somebody tries to knock her down, she'll still get back up no matter what. And some examples of that would be like, still like dust, I'll rise. Just like hopes that spring high, I'll rise. The repetition of I rise gives an emphasis on how she feels and how no matter what difficult situation she's in, she'll rise above it. And no matter what her oppressor is doing to her, she can get past it. Then the rhetorical questions that she asks throughout the poem as well help to show how something positive can come out of something negative, which relates to the theme of human strength as well. It also shows how people's opposing views help to build her as a person. She uses the placement of each of these questions at the beginning of stanzas, like here and here with, do you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, does my sassiness upset you? And she follows them with I rise, which shows how she's moving past them. The overall attitude of this poem is positivity and being successful. The speaker is always overcoming the negativity in her life by saying, I'll rise above it. The speaker also uses imagery of like the valuable resources like the oil wells and the gold, referring to herself as being a valuable person and saying that she is the strong person and that she's a valuable person. The author also says that she agrees with the speaker in the poem because I think that she is the speaker because she's speaking in the first person, and also she had overcome all these struggles in her own life.
Do you know when the poem was written? how
It
old
was
she was?
it was written in the 70s, so she would have been like in her 40s. So she had already overcome a lot of these struggles, like the abuse, and had been involved with the civil rights movement. So she had seen a lot and had been able to overcome it all. And I think this is a poem that reflects on her life.
Had the strength to do this. Whereas if she was a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old, I mean, poetry is beautiful at any age, but she had to live that to be able to express that.
Yes.
Exactly. Now I'm going to talk to you about some shifts in the poem. In this poem, one major shift is between stanzas 3 and 4, where the stanza in 3 it's really sure and it's really strong. She's saying, like moons, like suns, she's the certainty of tides, more like hope springing, I'll rise. Like all of the tides. And the paragraph 4 is almost like accusatory more and angry. She's saying like, oh, do you want to see me broken? Well, that's too bad, because no matter what you do, I'm always going to rise above whatever you say or do to me. Another major shift is...
It's also the 4 and 5 is the only time she doesn't do the I rise.
That's right.
So it's a break. So it's showing her desire to say, you can do a lot of things to me.
Yeah.
At the end. Because I think it's important that you see that she rises here, she rises here. But these are two powerful stanzas.
That's right.
She just kind of lets speak for herself.
Definitely. Stanzas 7th and 8th are... The 7th paragraph is, again, depicts strength and defiance. Or as well as the 8th stanza, she's depicting the past traumas of African Americans in general and women, and the fact that they have and they will rise through any oppression that anyone throws their way. She remains very strong. The title, Still I Rise, it perfectly relates back to the overall theme of this poem, which is rising up again through anything. The author is saying that you can insult me, you can oppress me all you want, but I will rise over any oppression that you throw my way.